Um,
You are live
just a
now.
sec. Right, thank you. We can start. Good morning, everyone. I hope I'm audible. I'll begin again. Welcome to the Aadhaar VC IDeathon. And we are conducting this webinar for the participants to introduce to them what is Aadhaar VC, Aadhaar App, offline verification. And joining us as panelists, we have CEO UIDAI Shri Bhuvnesh Kumar. We have Radha Prasad Sabut, who's the head of engineering at Tech Center UIDAI. We have Tanushri ma'am, who is the DG Tech Center, and also we'll be joined by Vivek Chandra Verma, who is DG at the AU Center in Delhi. So, if we're good, we can begin our presentation. Begin addressing. So first, Sir will address us. He will introduce us with the objectives, the ecosystem, UIDI ecosystem, and I'll hand over to Bhuvnesh sir for. Uh, please take it forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, all the participants that have joined today's webinar. I'm sure each one of us understands that establishment of an identity is a requirement on a daily basis in various circumstances. This has been a necessity from ancient times for any kind of things. If you look in the past also, establishment of identity was very important. During the medieval and the British period, if you look at it, the fingerprints would have been the maximum used for establishing identity of individuals. In the modern times, things have changed, and there used to be paper-based identity verification. If some of us recall the old times of opening a bank account or going and visiting a government office, so we would produce some kind of a paper to prove who we are. And since then, things have changed. A lot of digitization has happened. Of course, Aadhaar has come into place, and that has changed the whole scenario. With this foundational identity, it has really become very easy to establish one's identity. But in the Aadhaar law, the limitation which has been imposed is that authentication can take place only if somebody becomes a requesting entity. And majorly, it was focused only on the government sector. And various kind of government schemes have been onboarded, more than 3,000 till today. And then under the SWIC rules, some kind of facilitation was done for those kind of schemes where the money is not being spent from the consolidated fund of the country or from a state consolidated fund. And about 300 entities have been onboarded onto that also. It has been realized, especially in the private sector, that becoming an authentication user agency or sub-authentication user agency, as we call them AUA or sub-AUA and KUA and sub-KUA, many of you would perhaps be familiar with these terms, is a challenging process. It is time-taking, and it is little difficult for the private entities to come on board, in spite of the fact that the SWIC rules have been amended in last January. The offtake has not been very encouraging, and that is why it is important to bring out a solution which falls under offline verification as per the Aadhaar law and not under the authentication. The difference between authentication and offline verification is that in the authentication, the request is initiated by the requesting entity by asking Aadhaar number from the Aadhaar number holder and then sending a request to UIDAI Central ID Repositories, which we in short call the CIDR. And response is given from the CIDR to the requesting entity, and the transaction stops there. Establishment of identity happens. But in the offline verification process, the identity credentials are provided through an app to the Aadhaar number holder, and then the Aadhaar number holder, by choice and by selection, can share whatever credentials are required for particular use case. So in my opinion, this is going to be the future of use of Aadhaar. Till now, we have been using Aadhaar though it's a 12-digit number, but most people understand it as a card, and they ask individuals to produce the Aadhaar card in the physical format, which is prone to misuse by doing photoshops and all kinds of manipulations in the physically printed thing. And that is why if we can convert this into a digital identity which can be shared seamlessly with the consent and control of the Aadhaar number holder, potential use cases open up. We can think of a few today. One of them could be show your Aadhaar. Just like you go to an airport and you are asked to produce an identity document and you show it. On the other hand, you might be asked to share your credentials when you go to hotel to check in. Then you are asked to share your details, and that can be done electronically. And another circumstance is you may be asked to verify your credentials by your proof of presence. So all these will be possible through this Aadhaar app. It will be possible to seamlessly share it through a QR code scan, through an intent calling from the app, and also by pushing into a wallet. It could be a DigiLocker wallet, could be a Samsung wallet, Google wallet, or an Apple wallet. So all modalities are possible, and the consent artifacts are inbuilt. Now, these are some of the scenarios which we have been able to think through, or various offline verification seeking entities have told us. But at the same time, I think the potential is totally unlimited. There may be many more use cases which we are really not aware. And that is why we want, through this ideathon, for the startups and others to come up and give us ideas about more use cases, how the offline verification seeking entities can use the Aadhaar app and the offline verification mechanism, the Aadhaar verified credentials shared by UIDAI with the Aadhaar number holder, how these can be best used in various scenarios to verify the identity of the individuals. So that is the crux of today's webinar, and I'm sure my colleagues will be giving you more details. So I'll take a pause here and stop here, and we'll look forward to a very active participation from all of you. Thank you very much. Jain.
Thank you so much, sir. Your word means a lot. And yes, we are looking forward to more innovative applications coming forward. And thank you so much for addressing us. Moving forward, I would like to for Tanushree ma'am to take over and please address the ecosystem. I'll be presenting shortly. Just.
Thanks, Akansha. Thank you so much, sir, for the introductory vision. It was very important, and we've been driving this initiative of Aadhaar usage, and it's going to be a game changer for the usage to scale up for Aadhaar. We know that we have been enabling a lot of entities, but this is a new kind of usage, which was earlier only being shown in the form of photocopies and printouts and hard cards, etc. But now with more and more entities, especially in the private sector, coming online, it is critical that the ID is digitally exchangeable, digitally verifiable, and secure and private at the same time for the Aadhaar number holder. We'll move the slides, Akansha. So we wanted the Aadhaar usage to evolve with our next gen users. And it's not just for the next gen, it is for the billion users that we have. We have made it as simple as the UI shows here. It is show and share. And it should be as easy as you taking it out from your wallet versus you taking out your phone and showing it to the person who is asking for it. Next, please. So what the new app has featured, and it is the platform on which we are going to enable the Aadhaar users. It is the new Aadhaar app, easily downloadable from your App Store or your Apple Store. And what it gives is the digital convenience of being able to keep your Aadhaar in an updated form always with you, like your phone is with you all the time. It ensures that when you are sharing in a digital form to an entity who's calling for your ID, you can decide on what you want to share. If you want to only share your face, your photograph, and your name, that's the only thing you can select. So it enables selective sharing. It is very easy to download your Aadhaar. It gives you a lot of ease of handling your Aadhaar by keeping your biometrics locked, by doing your mobile update very easily, as well as doing address update in the simplest of fashions, and ensures that because of the language availability, it is usage of 14 plus languages which we offer. On the business side, the verifiers and the use cases that our teams are building, it will be an integration which will be very fast, since it is a platform which enables the Aadhaar number user and the verifier to talk to each other without having to hit UIDAI's CIDR backend. It is ensures privacy and security between the two entities, and ensures that the DPDP compliances are kept, and ensures that the digital enablement of these techno legal compliances are very easy to maintain by the entities. Very easy onboarding, and we will be talking more about how you can onboard onto as a verifier or a business user, and your use cases will enable these stories. Next. So if you see, this enables our digital usage in our country, where one user actually is the user for his entire family, sometimes even his neighbor. So we ensure that you have a primary user, but you also have multiple profiles that you can add to your digital wallet, which is the Aadhaar app. Your family, up to a total number of 5 profiles, can be easily added, so that their usage can be onboarded through your one mobile phone. Next, please. With this, I will hand it over to Vivek sir.
Vivek sir,
It's a very
I
good
request you.
afternoon. Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. So we are actually, in order to use the use cases which our CEO sir has highlighted, and actually to gain the use cases, get them publicity, there is a OVSE ecosystem. When we talk about OVSE, it is offline verification seeking entities. So this is an offline verification. We have to understand that this is when there is a interaction between an Aadhaar number holder and the entity. It is not hitting UIDAI database, so it is called offline. That does not anyway mean that it doesn't require any internet or something. It is just offline as far as UIDAI is concerned. So offline verification seeking entities, this is the registration of these entities have already started. We have commenced the process, and it's all available now in our website also. Applications can be downloaded and can be a very simple application, and it can be just filled and sent it to us. We can approve it if there is some documents required. That is all is the entire process. So the eligibility as far as OVSE registration is concerned is that it should be legally registered in India. We are having a company profile and PAN or GST or CIN, some use case information, a very, very simple 1+ pager, simple information is required. Right now, we are requesting for entities to be submitted in a manual mode. The online portal will also become active very shortly. So, but it can be checked from our website, and the links can be accessed from there. And now what we will do once the registration gets approved, all these entities will be getting a OVSE registration number. It will be a unique number. And we will be enabling a tech integration of these companies, whosoever entities are coming on board, to this app technology, so that this app can be read, or app can read the QR code which the entities are demanding. So whenever a client or any other use case or any other individual wants, where the entity wants identification to be verified, they'll have to display a QR code which can be scanned by the individual, and Aadhaar app verified information can be easily transferred if it is accepted. So the consent is very, very important. It has to be accepted by the Aadhaar number holder that this particular information is sought by a particular entity for this purpose. So this all entire thing, enablement of tech enablement, can be done by us. Fees right now, it is nil. In future, we don't know. Maybe if some nominal fees may be there. But right now there is no fees either for registration or even for transaction. Next. So these are the app features basically. If you see the app, when you open an app, it is already available in the Google and iOS platforms. When you open an app, so these are the screens which you will be seeing. The landing page, you can see it's a QR code. It's something similar to UPI, where it has to be scanned, and then the information which is requested can be accessed through this QR code. Below that, there are some features of this app where various services can be taken, like download Aadhaar, or even selective share. If somebody, it can be initiated by the Aadhaar number holder or by the individual, that if he himself or herself wants to share a particular set of information with anyone, that is also possible. Or there is a scan button down below in the center. It is similar to UPI. So any entity can project a QR code seeking information. It can be scanned, like you can see in the third screen. Then there are security features, bio lock, unlock. It is very, very simple. You have to just click, touch, and the bio gets locked. And that ensures that the Aadhaar is kept safe. Then there are services which are getting offered here. That is about the mobile number update and address update. So this is a very new feature for mobile number update. As on today, we are supposed to go to the Aadhaar centers because it requires a physical biometric capture and authentication. Right now, what we have introduced for the first time is the face authentication. So the face authentication is another biometric authentication which can happen through the app itself. And so the mobile number updates are also possible. Address update is there both by using your own documents, or even if in the family members document, like for minor children, if parents address is to be kept there for the children also, like head of family, what we call it, that is also possible. And then there is a help section, help and support, where we are having guides and tutorials. Contact us. We are also building up complete FAQs. It is already there. We have built up some set of FAQs. So all that support is always available to us. Next, please.
Thank you, sir. I think we also wanted to show the form, but I don't have it. If somebody can display the form so that we can see, or if not, we can continue with this.
The registration form?
Yeah, registration form.
I'll ask someone to show once this is over.
Yeah. So for the Aadhaar app, we can show it at the end of the Aadhaar app. I would like to request Sabut sir, if you can take it forward and tell briefly a little bit more about the flows that we have for VC sharing.
Right.
Sabut. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the USP of this app revolves around the verifiable credential, that the way the identity is now being handled, it is being handled as a verifiable credential, and it's shareable, and it is verifiable both using online mechanism as well as offline mechanism. But we are promoting more of offline use cases, and we will explain how the verifiable credential can be exchanged and verified using the offline mechanisms. So if you look at the app, if you open the app, we have a functionality called show and share. The show is the our day-to-day use cases wherein you need to show your identity and you prove your identity. So that's something we do have in a new with a reimagined user experience. So this is now being available to all the residents. Now, but what I'm going to cover more is about the sharing part and the verifiability of the credential. Now, just give me a second. I'll just share my slide. If you can unshare, Akanksha, I'll share my slide. Yeah. Right. So the verifiable credential, I'm sure most of you are aware of this technology. There are two standards governing the verifiable credentials. One is ISO MDocs, and second one is the ITF SDJOT. As far as Aadhaar App is concerned, we support both the standards. And for our benefit, the ITF standard, it was in draft stage. Now it has been converted to an RFC. That means it can be implemented by the entities. And on my right hand side on the screen, I'm showing just a sample of the SDJOT. SDJOT typically it contains a header, payload, and a signature section plus the disclosure. So we have structured our credential as per that, so that you do get access to the standard libraries which are available on internet. You can make use of those standard libraries and start deciphering this credential. Since we support these two standards, by default, we also allow the resident to exercise selective disclosure part. For example, if for a verification purpose, if the verifier is only interested about my name and my address, so the verifier, while seeking the credential, will send a request for these two attributes as part of the intent call. And when the intent call is received by the app, the intent will be displayed to the resident, and over there, the resident will get to see that the verifier is seeking only the name and address. Now, once the resident approves that, the credential is shared with the verifier. Over here, two significant steps we perform in the backend, in the background. One is that we verify who's the verifier, whether he is authorized to initiate such kind of intent call or not. That's something we verify. Second, from whatever the credential available in the Aadhaar app, from there we create a selective disclosure in SDJOT format and give it to the verifier. And we give it as per the standard, so that when it goes to the verifier can see the signature, can verify the signature, and gets an assurance that the the SDJOT has been issued by UIDAI. In summary, the document carries the trust when the UIDAI issues to the app and all the way gets transferred to the verifier. So if there is a tampering anywhere or there is an alteration to the credential, which in the Aadhaar app, it is not possible. But let's say somebody hypothetically tries to do that, in that case, the verifier can always find it out that this document has been tampered, right? So as far as UIDAI is concerned, if you look at UIDAI started the whole eKYC concept. In the eKYC, the entire document is always shared, but with the help of verifiable credential, now we can always do a need basis. Whatever credentials or claims are required, that can be shared. So coming to the structure, we have header, payload, signature, and disclosures. And SD standard says that the payload will contain the hash of the disclosures, and disclosures itself goes in a clear text format. And we support same standard. In addition, we are also ensuring there is a device binding. Just to clarify, like when we issue the credential from UIDAI to the Aadhaar app, we ensure that it is encrypted with the device key. That means it can only be decrypted by the device to which it has been issued. From the device, it goes to the verifier. And when we give it to the verifier, again, we sign it and send it. We have a provision to encrypt it also, but as of now, we have not enabled it. At a later point of time, based on the applicability, we will do that. So this is one flow. The second flow is related to the wallet. When it comes to the wallet, we do support the OpenID for verifiable credential issuance standard, OpenID for VCI. Under OpenID for VCI, the credential offering is always initiated by the Aadhaar app. So if you open the today Aadhaar app, you have a share functionality. That share functionality will do a credential offering. And when you do a credential offering, the app brings up all the wallets that are registered with the Android ecosystem. And again, internally, what we are doing, we are utilizing the functionality of Credential Manager API to discover all the wallets that are installed with the in the same device. Then once we discover it, we present those wallets to the resident, and resident selects which is the destination wallet, the credential to be shared with. Once a resident selects that wallet, internally the credential exchange protocols play out, and we share the credential with the wallet. Thereafter, wallet can do a show and the presentation of the credential as per the use cases. We do support both SD as well as MDocs, even for the wallet flow. I think I'll skip some of these features are already the app features. My previous speaker, he has already covered. So I'll just quickly jump onto some of the use cases and how that use cases have been implemented in our test setup. We will cover that in detail. So one of the major use cases, paperless hotel check-in that we are promoting through the Aadhaar app. And in this case, we are making an assumption that the hotel has some kind of software system wherein the resident details or the visitors' details are all gets registered, and that information is maintained in a digital form. The objective is to share the credentials from the Aadhaar app to the hotel, the ERP system, and ensure that when the exchange is happening, this exchange is happening in a trusted manner. Right. So the journey starts with the presentation of a QR code at the hotel reception. This QR code can be rendered by the hotel in its own application, or it can be, you can use a normal LCD screen the way now payment apps are automated, you can put a separate LCD screens to show the QR code. This QR code is, the standards for this QR code has been put out by UIDAI. It is available at our GitBooks portal. The QR code contains what all claims to be shared by the Aadhaar app with the hotel software application or the ERP system. It also carries the identity of the hotel as a verifier, and the QR code itself is signed. Right? So these three things we are looking at. The fourth one is the URL to which the claims will be uploaded in the form of a SD chart. I'm repeating it. The QR code contains the claims what is to be collected from the resident through the Aadhaar from the Aadhaar app. The signature, the URL to which it is to be uploaded, right? And again, the last one is the proof of presence, whether the proof of presence is required while sharing of the claim is undertaken with the hotel. Now, this QR code will be read by the Aadhaar app, right? The resident will bring up its Aadhaar app, scan the QR code. When the Aadhaar number holder scans the QR code, it gets to see what all claims to be shared with the hotel, who's the requester. And in the backend, we do the digital signature verification and the whether the hotel is registered as an OVSE or not. That verification we undertake. Now, resident approves at this stage. Post approval, if proof of presence has been sought by the hotel, the face verification step will come up. As part of the face verification step, we capture the facial image, compare it with the facial image which is there inside the Aadhaar app, and if they match, then only the credentials are uploaded to the URL to which was included as part of the QR code. That's how the flow, the journey takes place. Over here, QR code is required because these two systems are separate, segregated, they are not interconnected directly. So that's why the QR code is required. The second journey that we have conceptualized is society check-in of delivery executives or white-collar employees. So today, if you look at any of the societies, gated societies, there is a register or there is a MyGate or apartment or that kind of app wherein the executives, they give their details and they get inside the gated society. But what we are suggesting over here is, with the help of the Aadhaar app, you can bring a trust to that particular that process, and you don't have to maintain a separate register, or you don't have to collect any demographics from the resident. The complete journey can be digital and based on trust. That trust is derived out of the UIDAI issued selective disclosure SD chart or MDocs-based verifiable credential. So if you look at this detailed flow, there is we have taken the liberty of showing the MyGate app. We were at some point of time we were working with the MyGate in redefining the journey. That's why we are putting it out here. So at the MyGate with the MyGate app, there is the guard enters to which particular apartment the visitor intends to visit. Then in the MyGate app context, there's a QR code that gets rendered. Again, why we are rendering it in the MyGate context, we are assuming here that this particular app is with the guard, and the verifiers and it is serving the role of a verifier. So as a verifier, it has to render a QR code. Now, again, this QR code contains what all demographic claims that will be shared from the Aadhaar app with the MyGet app. And it contains the, again, it is a signed request. Then it also contains an or a hint whether proof of presence is required or not, right? So this QR code will be read by the visitor by using his or her mobile phone with the help of Aadhaar app. Then once Aadhaar app reads that QR code, it does the verification of the intent. Again, it's a backend process. We verify the signature of the signature that is embedded in the QR code. Once we are satisfied, we show to the resident what are the claims that will be shared with the app, with the MyGet app. Then once the resident approves, the data will be shared. If proof of presence has been sought as part of the QR code as a hint, then the facial verification process will be initiated. Right, I just covered the guest screen. Like here, the QR code scanning takes place. Post QR code scanning, the claims are displayed, and resident given the Aadhaar number holder is given an option to approve that. Once it is approved, the face verification takes place. Then the credentials are shared, and again, the credentials are uploaded to the backend of the MyGet, because these are two separate devices, and there are no direct connectivity amongst them. So I think with this, we'll go to the questions. If there are any questions from the attendees.
Before that, I just wanted to brief everybody about the ideathon and what they have to build. Thank you so much, Sabut sir, for explaining the flow. So basically, this ideathon is for offline verification-based use cases using the Aadhaar Verifiable Credentials. So what teams have to do is you will have to submit your idea through a form which is already available on the website, and we encourage solutions that enable VC sharing. In we will select 10 teams which will move on to the round two, and then you will have to submit a problem statement in that. What is the solution that you propose? And what is novel about your idea, and what's the technical capability, meaning if your organization has in-house capability to build your ideas. So the last day to apply was 19th of January till today, but we are extending applications because we are receiving interest from a lot of participants. So that's why we are extending it to 21st of January. So you have 2 more days to submit your applications, and yeah, and we'll try to screen it properly, and we'll share the results with you soon, and we'll keep you all updated through our social media channels. So sir, if we can take some questions now.
Yeah, do mention the prize money, Akanksha, and the process of the two level checking.
Yeah, okay, sure. I'll just share then one slide which covers that. I'll just give me a second.
So can we take the question meantime? Like
on the Q&A, sir. Yeah. You will be able to see the questions on the Q&A also, sir. So I'll just share the timelines. In the first round, you'll have to submit a form which answers 4 questions, as I mentioned, and we'll be screening your applications till after 21 January, and the shortlisted teams there will be 10 teams. So the prize money for the top 3 teams is rupees 5 lakhs for the first winner, 3 lakhs for the second winner, and 1 lakh for the third winner. And for the rest of the 7 teams, we also have some prize money, and recognition within our ecosystem.
Over to you, Sabut. Akansha, can you help out with the questions also? It will help Sabut
Yeah,
to...
sure. I'll just check.
Yeah, I'll take the first question. I think this question it's an important question. It has come from Daniel for benefit of all. Daniel happens to be the founder of the Open Wallet Foundation, and I think he's connected from Geneva for this event. So Daniel, your question is whether the birth or citizenship included in the VC. The place of birth is not a claim that we collect as part of the enrollment process. So is the case for citizenship. Aadhaar no way proves the citizenship of a Aadhaar number holder. That's why we don't include these two items as part of the verifiable credential. And thank you for attending this event. It's an honor to host you. So the next question is
important to tell what we collect and what can be shared. So apart from the biometrics through which we establish the identity, the unique identity, what we can share is the photograph. We can share the name, address, date of birth, and on the basis of date of birth, the age actually, and gender. So these are the things we take from the user necessarily, but we get mobile numbers and emails which are optional. The resident, as we call them, they provide. So these are also shareable as verified credentials from our system. So I think quickly we can run through. There are a lot of questions which are pouring in now. The first question is about the father's name and mother's husband's name. So let me clarify that we do not collect father's or husband's name in Aadhaar. So this is part of the address. So if you want to put it there, it can be done there. Then there is a question about mobile number change. The Aadhaar app provides as part of Aadhaar services the mobile number change. Then we have offline verification via secure QR code. So this is Aadhaar verified QR credential. It is coming with a UIDAI digital signature. And as far as RBI is concerned, it says Aadhaar in the form and manner issued by UIDAI. So in the rules there, the Aadhaar issued through the Aadhaar app also falls under that category. And that is why this will be treated as officially valid document. There is one more question which has come later. Email ID update is under development. So through this app, this option will be available. Address update is already there. And some of the services which are available as part of Aadhaar, Aadhaar download is already available. Those services will also be brought into the Aadhaar app, and Aadhaar app will be phased out. Somebody has asked for the PPT. I think there's no problem. We can share the PPT. Should not be an issue. Yes. How does the Aadhaar app check if the verifier is approved? So unless the verifier is approved, they will not be able to gain access. It has to be either through QR code, either it has to be through intent call, it has to be wallet pushing. So all three will be feasible only when the verifier is approved from the UIDAI ecosystem. And for that, they have to do the registration. This question I have already answered. How will this be aligned to RBI's KYC guidelines? And NBFCs and banks can use this as officially valid document and can pull in the full eKYC depending on their requirement, or partial verified credentials depending on what is the use case. If it is an account opening, I think they will need the full eKYC. But if it is not that and something else is being used, it will depend on that. The webinar for companies or students pursuing diploma in electronics engineering, because I know about this application. So anybody can submit, I think. Can you confirm from the tech center? Anybody can submit. There is no bar on that.
Yes, sir, and they can also use it for any of their hackathon if they want to showcase using this. They can always.
Right. So the next question, which seems to be from Vibha, and she says that today we share actually the full Aadhaar. That is a limitation in the physical format. If you have to share in physical, that will always happen, and that is what we are trying to change. we are trying to convert into Aadhaar verified credentials, and which may be a selective share. So that is the purpose of this Aadhaar app, so that people don't have to share the physical mode. Moreover, physical one is prone to misuse. This cannot be misused. This will go and directly sit into the database, cannot be kept here and there, and doesn't require full Aadhaar number to be shared at all. Can the Aadhaar app be used to verify proof of presence? Yes, that we have. No, proof of parent. No, there's no
Parent
relationship.
guardianship.
Parent and guardianship. There is no relationship included in the Aadhaar credentials, so it can't be used for that. But it can be used for age, like age 18 plus, age 25 plus, age 60 plus. Those kind of things it can be used. Then does 12-digit Aadhaar number unique? So Aadhaar number is unique for an individual and it doesn't get allocated to anybody else. No two people can get same Aadhaar number, and same Aadhaar number cannot be allotted to two people, and no individual can get two Aadhaar numbers. So one person, one 12-digit Aadhaar number. So that ensures the uniqueness, and it is based on the biometrics. For internet-based flows, can we create user cases for ID? Yes, of course. So when we say offline, please don't take it as if it is without internet. So for us, offline versus CIDR is when the entity is directly accessing our database. That is an online system. But if it is coming from the app and not hitting our database directly, that is offline. But offline doesn't mean without internet. So you can use Face RD also for this. Can I utilize my eKYC facility, offline eKYC, to share my Aadhaar? Yes, you can. Definitely you can use. You can use it through QR code, intent calling from the app, or even in the selective share mode. I think I'll request Sabut to answer on zip file and the credential XML format. So he will give technical details. But I think once we get a response during validation of VC, will the reference number be common if we do a validation check once again? So if you do, it depends. If it's a dynamic QR code, it will depend on the dynamic QR code, and reference will always be separate, and logging can be done accordingly. Then what are further questions? I think Sabut, can you answer this question on the zip file and XML file? Some people have asked this question.
Yes. So the zip file is nothing but it contains an stjot. Again, you need Aadhaar app to read that stjot. It can't be read by. You can take, if you decrypt it, you can take it to sdjot.org portal and verify. But again, for decryption purpose, you need to use the Aadhaar app. The way it has been designed that when you do a peer-to-peer sharing, whenever we release that feature, the sdjot gets encrypted for the destination entity or the device, and that particular device can decrypt it by using some passphrase, a combination of passphrase and a key. Once it is decrypted, the only Aadhaar app can render the sdjot and show it to the verifier. So it is used. It has been planned in such a that, or it has been designed such a that peer-to-peer verification at some point in time can be made available to the Aadhaar number holders.
Thank you, Sabut. Next is, can you share the link for UIDAI or Aadhaar's GitHub?
Yes, so we will put it in the chat box, the link to our GitHub
portal. Please
put
it, or maybe it can be accessed from our website also.
Yes, it is possible.
Yes, of course you can. As somebody has asked, can we edit the ideathon submission? Sure, you can submit more than one also. It is not necessary that you submit one only. How will the linkage with DigiLocker take place? Could you please explain in detail? So you can push your Aadhaar number into the DigiLocker as a wallet. Right now, DigiLocker is pulling the Aadhaar through the authentication route. So now the offline verification route will also get opened. So people will be able to push directly into the DigiLocker once the integration happens. A sole proprietor partnership firm can apply. Yes, of course, they can apply. Anybody can apply. So XML format, Sabut has already explained. Can electronic sharing system to system use cases be submitted? Yes, why not? Any kind of use cases which provide for ID verification using Aadhaar and Aadhaar verified credentials can be submitted. Aadhaar card is handled by UIDAI, and if you want to integrate it with other government department, then what things need to take care of it? There any compliance which needs to be taken care of. So when it is done through authentication, there is a process of becoming AUA sub AUA. But when you are using it through Aadhaar app, the same process of offline verification will be required. A simple registration, and through the app it can be done, and it provides for far more flexibility. So, and if the numbers are large, we will suggest that you please look at the authentication mode. But if numbers are small, we will suggest that offline verification method is preferable method. It's free as of now. Even if it is charged in future, this will be a very small cost as compared to the authentication side, which may require big infra to be set up. So it is very good to use in government use cases also, and it is not only for private use cases. David's answer has been already been answered. David's question. Is place of birth part of VC? No, it is not. Will the hotel and valet entity both need an OVSE registration? Valet is a separate entity. Hotels will be individual entities, so hotels will require. But in case hotels are coming as part of some other app, they may not require. For example, the Pathik app in Gujarat, they have to enter the credentials into that app. So if Pathik becomes our OVSE and then data is pushed or pulled from that app, it can provide integration. Then all the entities below may not need to become separate OVSEs. That can obviate the need. We can look at that part. I represent a company HR and society. As a company resident, would like to know use cases for joining new employees and without MyGate if security through. Yeah, it is possible. I mean, you can use app for attendance. You can use app for entering. We are using this is our data center. So we allow guest visits, employees to enter the premises through the Aadhaar app. It is very much possible. Any use case of identity verification for entering into any premises is possible. Even for registration for say concerts or marathons, any kind of entry into any event, they're all possible use cases of this app. In the ideathon page is the presence field. Somebody can answer this question in the ideathon page.
So
page is showing a reply back.
So there is an issue with the special characters. We will have a look at the form, and we'll revert back on this. So typically we don't allow special characters as a security measure, but if there is a need to have that, we will include it. Otherwise, you need to change or you need to escape the special characters so that it can be submitted by the form.
So what will the role of third-party technology server? Simply, they will be service providers and will be data processors in terms of the DPDP Act. So they will only be the technology service providers, but OVSE will be the end user. So nobody can use offline verification for somebody else. So it has to be done by that. But providing technology, I mean, that's a business opportunity for many of the entities. That will be an opportunity. Is there any solution for Aadhaar verification through feature phones? There are many people who still not able to afford smartphones.
So at this point of time, we don't have any immediate solution for feature phone. So one of the key functionalities, capture of the facial image and doing a offline verification while doing a credential sharing. That particular functionality is not possible to address completely with a feature phone. That's why we don't have any ready-made solution. Maybe we'll explore. If we can break through that particular piece of technology, we will be happy to provide or extend the functionality through a feature phone.
Yeah, Gajal, your understanding is correct, but only the nomenclature is not correct. There are two ways of offline verification. We will not call it authentication. And verifier provides the QR code, and also verifier initiates an intent call. The third is that the Aadhaar number holder is able to push it to wallet, and from wallet it can be shared further. So that's a third modality available. I think Ashish, your understanding is again correct. It is not offline, but offline verification is a word used in the Aadhaar Act, and that is why we are calling it offline verification. But actually, it is connected on the net. It's an alternative to what is called authentication, which in our definition is online, directly hitting the CIDR, and that is why this difference between the two. Not really offline, but being called offline verification because of the law, nothing else. Then there is from Tanveer. I submitted my answers, but I want to edit. I have emailed my answers to Aadhaar app. So can you edit?
So editing is not possible, but we will connect with Tanvi and will provide required support.
Okay. We operate a fintech in BFSI for onboarding residents from a financial inclusion standpoint for account opening. Is this perspective, do all the lenders as if we operate with should be registered as OVSE?
Yes.
Yes. Anybody who wants to do an Aadhaar verification through the Aadhaar app will have to be, registered as a OVSE. Whether you are a lender, whether you are NBFC, whether you are a bank, so every separate entity will have to do that. Then Abhishek is asking, how about we have verifier account too, so that we can't completely manage it offline. The user and the verifier can directly create account and use VC wherever needed. So I really couldn't get that.
So Abhishek, maybe you reach out to us, you send us a mail what you are expecting when it comes to verifier account. There is a business wallet as a functionality, but right now it's at a very nascent stage, not yet fully explored. But if you are hinting in that direction, perhaps you should send us a mail.
Right. Tapas is asking a very technical question. What would be the format of response from UIDAI?
So we, as I said in my presentation, we do support two standards: the ISO MDocs as well as the ITF SDJOT. So in the intent call, you can specify what format verifiable credential you expect as part of the response, and we will support that. When it comes to uploading the credential to your backend, again, it will be as part of the OpenID for verifiable presentation flow. The way the presentation flow structures that kind of upload, that is something we have implemented.
Okay. Next questions are about registration. Yes, for QR code verification, registration of OVSE will be necessary. And the process of registration will be that you have to apply. Very soon the portal will be there. And Vivekji explained that there is a simple form. You have to give some commitments and give your details. And basically commitment based. As of now, registration is free also. So it's a very, very simple process. Very easy onboarding is there. So we want more people to do onboarding as OVSEs and register as OVSEs. Then Abdul is saying that a VC-powered unified citizen access platform. Instead of uploading documents, yes, don't need to upload documents. Actually, whatever is required, you can share those Aadhaar verified credentials and services should be available. Your understanding is correct. Why Aadhaar number not mandatory for immovable property registration? That is dependent on the rules and regulations made by the property registration authorities, not directly linked with the Aadhaar as such. What is the use of remove the father name and husband name? It was never there. It was never there right from the beginning. Father's and husband's name was not there. but you can put it in the address field if you want for your convenience. Aadhaar identity is based on the the biometrics, and only 4 more fields are captured. As I mentioned, name, date of birth, address, and gender. That is all that is collected. Will we be able to collect the date of birth and extend services to user with consent? For example, I take 18-year-old DOB and I will provide driving license and voter ID service. No, I mean, the eligibility of those conditions will have to be checked, but the age verification can happen from here. Just by age verification, the services cannot be provided. Their eligibility has to be tested by the concerned entities. Where do we get the link to recording of this session? So are we sharing the link to this session?
Sir, we'll put it up on YouTube so that it can be accessible later.
From tech perspective, what key is embedded in QR, which helps for authentication? And what cybersecurity measures are being taken to contain or prevent the data leak? Yeah, it's an important question.
So the QR code, as I said earlier, it is digitally signed. When the verifier initiates a request, it creates that request as per our format. We have a format which we have published on our GitHub documentation portal. Once you create that structure, after that you need to use your private key to digitally sign it. And that signed intent gets rendered in a base 45 QR code. Or it can come as if it is an app-to-app call, it can come as a direct intent. Now, when it comes to our app, we verify the signature against the registered OVSE database. We see that whether you are already authorized for that kind of service or not. If the signature verification passes, then only we allow the credential exchange. Now, coming to the cybersecurity measures, again, the data structure is already standardized. What kind of data you will be requesting as part of the request, it's all predefined. So, and that validation takes place. Similarly, if it is a cross-device flow, that means you have a backend, you have a desktop-based system, and the Aadhaar number holder is on Aadhaar app. When the verifier exchange takes place between the Aadhaar app and your backend, we expect that you will give us a single use token, which we will consume while uploading the credentials with your backend. With that, your system's also taken care of. Only the app can upload the credentials.
So if we are building on multi-domain, which domain we should select in the submission form? Whichever suits you, in my opinion. It should be your choice. Do we have any restriction on that?
I think one form, one submission covers one particular domain, but we'll look into the form, and if there is a need, we'll update it.
Tarun says, I am non-IT person, but I have idea to solve. So you are eligible. You want to participate, you can participate. Is geotagging available for the address? No, it is not available. Does UIDAI provide an API or SDK for mobile, face, and fingerprint authentication to enable self-enrollment by Aadhaar app? No, self-enrollment is not possible in Aadhaar. Aadhaar app is for people who are already having Aadhaar. You cannot avail fresh Aadhaar enrollment through Aadhaar app. How will the AVC be made available through DigiLocker? I think we answered this question. TSPs, we answered this question. How do you ensure that the customer updates the latest address proof in the Aadhaar card?
So the Aadhaar app has an address update functionality. So once you install it, you can make use of that functionality to update your Aadhaar. And you need to submit a proof of address document also as part of the process.
Okay, so Aadhaar app provides for update of Aadhaar, but it doesn't necessarily force the Aadhaar number holder to get the latest address. I mean, there is no such system. On the other hand, whatever is the address declared by the Aadhaar number holder, that will be fetched. Whatever is there in the Aadhaar database, it will be provided in the Aadhaar app also. So the Aadhaar app can always refresh, and the latest information will be available in the Aadhaar app.
Sir, sorry to cut you, but I think we have already answered a lot of questions, and I believe if you have any more questions, you can reach out to the our email address, and I think we should wrap it up now
Yeah.
with
For
your permission,
TSP,
sir.
OVSE registration will not be required, but I think for whatever entity they are providing their services, they can facilitate the entity for OVSE registration. That will be a better mechanism. You educate the end users, and they will come back or facilitate their forms for OVSE registration. That will be helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everybody.
So, Akansha, we will be putting up our social media channel is also showing the email addresses in which people can send in more queries.
Yeah.
We should ensure that this is available to the public in terms of answers also, and ensure that the YouTube video is also put up in the next post.
Okay, sure, ma'am. Yeah.
I think I want to thank everybody for the overwhelming response, and the kind of questions which have come shows a very, very active participation. I'm sure we are going to have a great ideathon, and we'll get a lot of new and potential use cases, and the best use cases are going to win a lot of money, good price. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sabut sir. Thank you, Vivek sir. Thank you,
sir.
everybody else.
Thank you.
I'll share the email IDs over social media channels as well, so you can put up your questions, and please, we'll try to answer all of them.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the participation.
Recording.